all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Grady, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in a down market. That will change once you use my patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. Over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
I still believe that we're in a secular bull market. I still believe that the low on 10/22, October 22nd, is the low for this bear market. I firmly believe that.
What's this guy, nuts? Are you kidding me? That is not the low. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. Well, Powell said this yesterday.
I think a particular focus for us going now over the past 6-7 weeks now and going forward is going to be what's happening with credit tightening. Are small and medium-sized banks tightening credit standards, and is that having an effect on loans, on lending? And so we can begin to assess how that fits in with monetary policy. That'll be an important thing.
Wow!
Oh wow!
Wow!
That's incredible. How can this man be so stupid? We're going to now look at is tightening credit at the banks. This is what we have to look at now. This is what's most important. Tightening the credit at the bank. How's that going to reflect? How's that going to hurt the economy? We'll have to ascertain that. By the time they ascertain that, we'll be in a depression, for God's sakes. How stupid. Anybody knows if you tighten credit on small businesses, especially lines of credit that they need for inventory and payroll, and you start cutting credit, not mention housing, just take small businesses, you kill the economy. You know how many? It's small businesses and startup businesses that create jobs. You start tightening credit and send a small business. Sorry, your line of credit of 100,000. We just cut it to 15,000. And people are getting those kind of letters all day from the banks now. Friends of mine here in Sarasota have small businesses. They're besides themselves. They get a letter. Your credit line of $50,000, we just cut it to 25. What? Immediately, what do? Layoffs. Boom. First thing you have to do. That's your big expense. And he doesn't know that. Common sense doesn't tell him that. I mean, maybe I'm not hearing it right, but let me try it again.
I think a particular focus for us going now over the past 6-7 weeks now and going forward is going to be what's happening with credit tightening. Are small and medium-sized banks tightening credit standards, and is that having an effect on?
Are these banks tightening credit standards? He's got to look into that. He's got to look into that, and will it affect the economy? Why does he have to look into it? Because the reason why the banks are tightening credit, because he is telling them. He is telling them to cut back on the money supply, which means banks have reserves. And they receive interest on the reserve from the Federal Reserve, while it's sitting in a pile. And then when Powell wants to push the economy, stimulate the economy, he tells his banks, hey, we want to increase the money supply so you can get more loans out there. So they take the reserve and open it up for loans. When they want to stop the loans, then they tighten that money supply. They don't do that either. They just tighten it, and interest rates go straight up, and that kills the economy. And this guy hasn't figured that out. I mean, I know I'm repeating myself. I just can't believe he said something so stupid. Something so stupid. And something else. This is what he's going to work on? We're far beyond that. Why don't you work on what caused this? Too much spending. Why don't you work on the fact that we've made these banks, these 5 big banks, too big to fail? This is a worse credit crisis now than in 2008. And one reason, just one reason, is because by J.P. Morgan going in and purchasing the FRC, Republic, he is now one of the largest banks in the world. And if you take the 4 biggest banks and look at and you look at the size of these guys, you take Bank of America, 2.4 trillion. Jamie Dimon, 7 trillion. Wells Fargo, 1.6 trillion. Let's see, Wells Fargo, 1.6, Citi, 1.7, Bank of America, 2.4, and then I forgot who the other one was, 3.2. But my point is, these banks, if just one of those CEOs screw up, think about this. Our whole economy, our entire economy is based on 4 dopes, these bankers. Are you kidding me? If one of these bankers, Jamie Dimon or any of the other 3, make a bad mistake, we all go down. That's the danger with too big to fail. And that is why this banking crisis is is bigger and worse than 2008. We didn't have that in 2008. Remember, where we have 4 people that are controlling our destiny, we didn't have that in 2008. So it's worse now. It's gotten worse. Do you want 4 individuals controlling the destiny of our country? You know what kind of power that is? That's more power than the President of the United States. J.P. Morgan, right now, J.P. Morgan and Dimon, he has more power than Biden. He does. He controls Biden. There's no question about it. He controls him. These 4 banks control the White House. They control Congress. So yes, the crisis, which they won't even admit that it's a crisis, is much worse than in 2008. Wow. When I listen to the people that this president has surrounded himself with, you're like Powell. Here's Jennifer Granholm, Energy Secretary. Listen to this genius.
It is not administration policies that have affected supply and demand.
How can you say that? Why don't you answer my question? From January to August, the price of gasoline was up over 30% in my state alone. Are you telling me, Madam Secretary, are you telling me under oath that these policies had no effect?
No, they did not. Ask
That's a
Vladimir.
remarkable statement.
Oh my God! Listen to this again.
It is not administration policies that have affected supply and demand.
How can you say that? Why don't you answer my question? From
Of
January.
course, it's their policy, just like the monetary policy. The monetary policy of this administration has put us in the deep doo-doo. Are you kidding? Where do they get these people? And then here's Maxine Waters. She's on the Senate Banking Committee, or House Banking Committee.
I feel very confident that the banking system is safe and that we're doing a good job in managing the little crisis that we have. And I want people to feel confident that there's no contagion going on. We don't have a run.
Are you kidding me? There's probably 200 banks that are in the same situation as First Republic, and we just don't know about it yet. Do you think they would tell us? Do you think they would tell us? More on that when we get back. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners or shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners or shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Warning: Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. Tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com.
You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy this stock. Then you have two people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right. Follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
I feel very confident that the banking system is safe and that we're doing a good job in managing the little crisis that we have. And I want people to feel confident that there's no contagion going on. We don't have a run, and I think we're doing well.
There's academic research suggesting if we had a 10% default rate on commercial real estate loans, you're talking about something like another 500 banks that would face significant pressure.
What you learn in the banking industry, it's usually the problem you're not talking about. Everyone wants to talk about commercial real estate. There's probably other things in the banking books right now that are going to probably be more problematic.
The Fed's saying it is determining whether additional policy firming may be appropriate. That's a change from the prior language that it removed, where it said it anticipates that some additional policy firming may be appropriate. So maybe one way to think about this is it's gone from being pretty sure it's going to hike to maybe it will hike, but it's really looking for a reason to do so.
There's enough hikes in the pipeline already at the moment that it'll probably do the job for it. It doesn't need to do any more than this.
I still think the Federal Reserve is going to have to cut before the end of the year because I think they've gone too far.
Now, have you ever heard such contradictions? Do you have a lot of faith in that? Now, I'm going to show you something, and for those who are obviously listen to me, you don't have access to your computer, you can catch this tonight on the archive. All of those people are focusing on the wrong thing. What has happened, why we are in this mess started when they came in and did the zero rates, the QE, in 2008, 2009. When you are taking money, the Fed, printing it, that's inflation. And you print the money, and then you give it to your 5 biggest banks, the too big to fail, at zero. They don't have to pay for it. And then they take one of their clients, which is a commercial business, okay, a business corporation, and they say, I'm going to loan you this money, okay, I'm going to put you at 2 prime. I'm going to give you I want a VIG at 2%. So these corporations are buying this money at 2%, 3%. They went nuts in spending. They went crazy because to get their stock up, especially tech stocks, all they had to do is reduce the outstanding shares of their company. It's called stock buybacks. So these CEOs would go and get options, and then they would take and borrow this money that was almost free to them, and then all they would do is they wouldn't focus on productivity. They didn't focus on new products. They didn't focus on being competitive. Why do any of that? All they had to do is take this money, this cheap money, 2-3%, and if they had 1 million shares outstanding, they go and they start buying those shares. Buy those shares. So if they get from 1 million, if their stock's at, let's say their stock's at $10. So if their stock's at $10 and they got 1 million shares, they want to get their stock up to $15. All they have to do is go in and reduce that 1 million shares down to 900,000 shares. Now their stock goes from 10 to 15. Now they want it to go up higher. Don't worry about profits. Don't worry about making good products. Don't worry about any of that. Now you call Jamie Dimon, or you call Wells Fargo, you call Goldman Sachs. Hey, send me some more money over at 2%, 3%. Then they go and they reduce their amount of outstanding share from 900 down to 800,000 shares from 1 million. Now the stock goes from 10 to 15 to 25. And the CEO has options. He's exercising options. He's becoming very, very wealthy. The CEO normally gets about a $20 million salary, but he's making about $40 million a year on stock options. Well, what's that doing for the company? Nothing. Company doesn't benefit. What's it doing for the shareholders? Nothing, except for the big shareholders. I mean, there's 1 million little shareholders. They're not going to get rich off of that. But the big shareholders, they do. What about the employees? Nothing for them. They're not getting raises. They're not getting new equipment, new machinery to increase productivity, so they can increase that production, so they can sell, so they can produce more to sell more, so they can get a raise, and then they can go consume, which really helps the country, right? Consumption's everything. So what they did for 13 years is this game of stock buybacks. So what they're talking about right now doesn't mean anything. Now I'm going to show you what means a lot. If you look at if you follow me on YouTube or Rumble or Facebook, and you're watching this, I want to show you something. This is, and if not, tonight you can go to my archive. This here is the spiders. Now, this is the top right up in here. This was in November of 2021. This is when the market started to crash. Okay, because no more QE. It stopped. Because now interest rates are going up, right? The Fed had to move their rates from 0 to 5%. That means these guys, these corporations who are buying their own shares, who are getting money at 2%, now it's no longer 2%. Now, remember, it's 5% plus 2. That's 8%. Now we got real big problems. These companies are in big trouble. Big trouble. And they've been rolling these notes over, rolling this over. They can't pay it. So here's what's going on. You see right up here in November? See the peak right up here? That's November 2021. I'm going to draw a straight line across over here. That's the top. This down here is the bottom. Here's the middle right here. So for 2 years, we've gone nowhere in the stock market. On May 5th, 2021, the price of our stock in the Spider is the same as today as it was back in 2021. Look at the chart. Look at the chart. We've gone nowhere. Why? What's this black space? The institutions are not going to buy stock to move this market up. They haven't for 2 years. You think they're going to do it now? More on this. This is what you need to know. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color code chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Bill, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Bill's gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Are you tired of being lied to about some magical economic recovery that only benefits the 1%? And then when the market does collapse, you're sitting there calling your broker, what do I do? When you should be shorting? Learn how to short the market. Continue to listen to my radio show, philsgang.com. Become a member, only $39.95 a month, and learn how to short.
Don't wait. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Bill, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Bill's gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, if you really want to make sense of this market, you can't be listening to the fake business news network. They will not tell you the truth. They're to get you excited, to make sure you go out and you're happy so you'll buy something. That's not what we do here at Phil's Gang. We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. What are you, nuts? Coffee's up 92%. Lumber's up 67%. Heating oil, what, 60%? Gasoline, 55%. I understand why you guys are telling me to raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Okay, welcome back to the gang. Now, if you're watching Rumble, Facebook, Apple, YouTube, and if you're not, this will be archived in my show. This is very important. All this stuff they're talking about, should they raise rates, not raise rates, that doesn't mean anything. If you have the question in your mind, what do you think the market's going to do? I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to show you the proof. The market, the highest probability is it's going to go down to the S&P is going to break down to 3,200 from where it is. And here's the proof. The only way that won't happen, if they take the market and decide bring interest rates back to zero, go back to QE, then inflation would go through the roof, would destroy our country. But they could do that. Okay, they could do that. But here's what I want to show you. What you got to watch is right here. Now remember, I told you if you go look at the S&P, since November of 2021, when the market crashed to October 2022, when the market dropped 38%, it only went up about halfway and stopped. So the stock today, on the price of the S&P today, is the same today as it was 2 years ago. So the market's not moving. Now it's not just the S&P. Now watch this. Watch this. I mean, this is amazing. And these guys on the fake Business News Network, they're not going to tell you this. They're not going to clue you in on this. Why would they? Okay. Now look at this. Right here. Let's get my little arrow here. Okay. Now, if you look at this chart, I'm giving you, and I'm going to prove to you why. Here's the S&P, right? I just talked about, but I also put up the NASDAQ for you, the Qs, and I put up the bank stocks, and I put up gold. Now, you notice on the S&P, again, after the market dropped 38%, it rallied about 15, 20% and stopped. Hasn't gone up, right? Why did it rally 15%, 20%, 15, 20%? Because everybody who shorted it, the professionals who shorted it, if I made $5,000 shorting the stock, I have to buy it back to get my money, to make my profit. So they're buying their own stock back. But notice where it stopped? From top to the bottom, halfway. And we haven't moved in 2 years. Well, why isn't it going further? Why isn't it going up in here? Now, go over to the Qs, the NASDAQ. Same thing. Came down. And about dropped 390, took 390 days worth of drop. It went up about 125 days, but it stopped halfway up. Look, we're stuck halfway. We've been here for 2 years. We got to get up in this area here. Look at the banks. They're worse. Same thing. Market dropped. They only went up 50%. So think about this. From the peak on the S&P, the Qs, and the banks, they dropped. We use just a number for all of them. They dropped 30%, and then they went back up, say, 15%, and then they haven't gone up over 2 years. That's what they got to be focusing on. Now look over here on our gold. Our gold price is the only one that went above the 50% and making new highs. Our gold, our miners are doing better. As a matter of fact, I had my members, and my members are in AU. It's a mining stock, and that's taken off. I told them 2 days ago, the dollar is going to get slaughtered. The dollar is going to get killed. They're going to take the value of this dollar, everything that this administration doing, everything Powell's doing is going to destroy the dollar. Take a look at gold today. Take a look at AU. I have my members in AU going up. But you still can't move up the spiders. You can't move up the NASDAQ. And even with the yields going down, you think the NASDAQ stocks would take off today. They always take off. When yields go down, NASDAQ stocks go up. When yields go up, banks go up. Yields are down, NASDAQ stocks aren't taking off. That becomes a problem. The problem is what I'm showing you right here. SPYs, the Qs, the big tech, the banks have never been able to go past that 50% line. After it dropped 38%, they can't go back 15%. Why? Because the institutions won't buy. The hedge funds won't buy. The big institutions who make the stock market move, the 5 biggest banks, the big insurance companies, they're the ones who make the market move. They're not going to pay $19 a share for a stock for $1 of earnings. They know the valuations are insane. But they didn't care about the valuations as long as from 2008 to 2021 November, interest rates were at 0. And the corporations could buy money at 2%, 3%. But now they know one thing. They know what I know after being in this business for 50 years. Now that interest rates are at 5%, but remember, corporations aren't paying 5%. They're paying 3% on top of 0. Now they're paying 3% on top of 5. So they're paying 8%. That means the valuations are so bad that there's no buying of these stocks. We haven't gone anywhere in 2 years. Check your chart out. We've been going sideways for 2 years. Gold has gone up. The decisions Powell's making have been terrible. Terrible. And the problem is this, that the banking crisis has gotten worse and worse because of what I told you. They're now paying 8% for money instead of 2 or 3%. They're in deep trouble, all these corporations. They have the highest debt they've ever had in history, okay? And the other thing the banks are doing, they're masking their bad loans like they did. Remember the subprime loans, how they masked them? They masked these. Now their corporate loans, there's about $1.7 trillion in bad loans. They're not performing, but they haven't recorded them as not performing. They're just not unrealized right now, as you call it. Okay, they don't have it on their balance sheet right now. They haven't recorded those. They're holding off. They're not recording those losses. So just sitting over here in a pile. They're not recording those. That's a real big problem they've got. Then you got, and then these the other problem you've got here is that this administration, remember, not only do we have the non-performing loans like I just mentioned, it's really $1.9 trillion. Most of that corporate debt, as I said, is not at 3% anymore. It's at 8%. And under this administration, we've had the least business investment. We've had the least increase in standard of living and the least economic growth. It was the same under Obama, Biden, because they had the same monetary policy. Don't grow, but spend, especially on the welfare state, are now green. That's the problem. And he's sitting there, Powell, today, and the biggest thing he's thinking about when he goes and sits behind his desk is, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder what's going to happen with the where's that cut? I can't find it now. But Powell saying, credit tightening. Listen, this is the biggest thing on his mind.
I think a particular focus for us going now over the past 6-7 weeks now and going forward is going to be what's happening with credit tightening. Are small and medium-sized banks tightening credit standards, and is that having an effect on loans, on lending?
I could bring a 3-year-old. I could bring somebody in that's in the 8th grade. And of course. What he should be looking at is why is it for 2 years the stock market's stuck in the same place it's been for 2 years? Why aren't the institutions buying stock anymore to push the market up? The answer is valuations are too high. Why is that? Too much spending. this administration has spent, and that's has caused the inflation. That's caused the inflation of the valuations. That's why the market has one place to go, down. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Do it now, free for 10 days. It will help you through this.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, just listen to Phil Grandy.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. There's many reasons to listen to a radio show, but I think to listen to my show, you get the truth, you get clarity, and you get great information.
No matter what level of investor you are, Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success.
You know what? Most of all, it's fun. philsgang.com. Clarity, good information, and fun.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Bill, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, just listen to Phil Grandy.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. There's many reasons to listen to a radio show, but I think to listen to my show, you get the truth, you get clarity, and you get great information.
No matter what level of investor you are, Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success.
You know what? Most of all, it's fun. philsgang.com. Clarity, good information, and fun.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
May the 4th be with you. And keep listening to Phil's Gang, you will.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, so what's going on right now, what they should be paying attention to is the debt, not the interest rates. Don't matter. The horse out of the barn. You already screwed up the country with all these zero rates. Now you got too much liquidity and you don't know how to get it out. And the corporations can't pay their bills because they're paying 8% instead of 2% or 3%. Now, for traders, investors like myself and my gang, we've taken advantage of this. We've been buying gold. Now, I have a chart I'm putting up here. This is the stock we've been in for quite a while. AU is the symbol. Okay? And we only buy it when it turns green because our charts follow the money. Okay? So when it turns green, we're in it. When it's red, we're not in it because that means even though it's going up and it's red, it's telling you that it could collapse anytime. There's not enough volume, not enough money coming in. When it turned green, okay, right here, you can see it on your chart. Now, again, if you're following me and you're not on my charts, this is archived because you need to see this. So gold, we've been doing very, very well with gold, and gold's just going to keep going higher and higher and higher. Look, it broke out again today. The reason that gold's going to go higher and higher is because of the fact that what they're doing, what these the problems the deficits are causing. Deficits are a terrible thing. Deficits have only 4 times have we had deficits in 53 years. And one of the 4, guess what, is this administration. In 53 years, we've only had 4 times have we had deficits, and now we got one hell of a deficit, one of the 4 right now. That deficit is a killer. Because deficits, remember, that causes the higher inflation. It causes your savings decrease, your income decreases, your interest rates soar, the price of borrowing money goes up. I mean, everything bad you can think of happens. There's nothing worse than deficits, and you got to pay them back. So everybody's been asking me about the builders. I said, no. We're getting ready to short the builders. We wouldn't buy the builders. In 2008, we shorted the builders, and we did very, very well. And then we had the same question. Everything else was going down except the builders. And people started to jump into the builders. But they didn't understand the builders is a lag. Because when they fight inflation, they start raising interest rates, people will run to buy new homes to get a contract to lock themselves up in with a lower rate. They want to catch that lower rate. So there's a delay, just like layoffs. Manufacturing, we haven't even seen the layoffs yet. Remember, we got all these big layoffs in tech. Remember the 500-point rally last Thursday, right? Because remember they're talking about Meta laying off 21,000 people, and people were so optimistic because of that. Oh, they're laying off 21,000 people, and the whole industry is going to lay off another 200,000 people. That's great. They're all going to make profits. No, it's not great. That'd be great if the economy was good, and they're streamlining. CEOs are streamlining, but they're laying off because they're in survival mode. That's not good at all. So we got all these layoffs. Everything associated with deficit is bad. That's why you don't want to run deficits. But they don't care. They don't care. As long as they just keep spending. So gold, take a look. Watch. If you join our gang, we can help you with the gold mining stock, AU. But here's something else, the builders. I don't want to get off track, the builders. I'm going to put up the builder chart now. The ETF. This is the one that's going to collapse. It's always the last one. So now we're starting to follow it. And if you can see on my chart, we had a high on the builders in February 2nd. They have not been able to get back up to that high. Now, the second high was on May 3rd. Okay, May 3rd, the second high. So we have a lower high. That high on May 3rd was at $71.93. We'll call it 72. Now the stock's at 69. If they rally it again a couple more times and they can't make that new high, and that forms a third lower high, then you're going to begin a crash. And if it breaks below that, let's say around $66, you're going to see these these builder stocks tank like a flying monkey. I mean, unbelievable. But see, everybody's buying the builders. You're doing the wrong thing. You're too late. Now you got to start looking at shorting it. Okay. Listen. The one thing you got to understand is we've got so many signs that this market wants to go lower. As I said, the only way it won't go lower if they get crazy and decide to go back to zero rates again. But we have the orders are being canceled. Our manufacturing orders are down big time. Durable goods orders are down big time. And durable goods orders, remember, those are very important because they indicate how the economy is doing going forward. Remember, the economy is forward-looking. And when durable goods are doing terrible, that means the economy going forward is going to be terrible. And that's what it's telling us. Now, take the trade deficits. That's another message we've been getting from the market. Trade deficits, okay, they lead to manufacturing, okay? And what we're finding with the trade deficits, we are getting historic trade deficits. That's a killer. Trade deficit, because when you have trade deficits, you're losing labor left and right. People are getting fired left and right. And that's another thing that's happening. So, but the spending that has gone wild has caused these deficits, and they're not going to stop spending. So we do a great job here at Phil's Gang. I mean, we really do. And because we really focus on three groups of stocks. We focus on our tech stocks, we focus on our banks, and we focus on oil, okay, energy, because that's where all the money goes, and of course gold, four sectors. And if you stay in the best banks, and you stay in the best banks and in the best tech stocks, and you know how to sell short when they go down, you're making money, as well as going long. As long as you know how to go short and long, and you stay with that same group and just watch those stocks, you don't need to be in anything else. I mean, Kramer's got you in 55,000 stocks. It's terrible. So our portfolio, we're always invested in 6 stocks. And then we have a pool of stocks, 15. That's the only stocks we look at. The ones we trade every day, the 6 that we invest in. And then we have a pool of 15. We have Meta, Apple, Google, and NVIDIA. And then we have for banks, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citi, Morgan Stanley, and Wells Fargo. How could you lose on that? And if you understand how to follow the bond market, the yields, then between the yields and our color-coded chart, there's no way you can be making money consistently. Now, they have really screwed this deal up, okay? But it didn't just start with Biden, okay? It started before Biden. It started with Obama, Biden. Then it started before that, when the one that really screwed things up was Baby Bush, because Baby Bush created the monsters. Banks too big to fail. And now they're so big. Remember when JP Morgan bought in 2008, they bought, I can't remember the name of the insurance company now off the name of it's the biggest insurance company in the world. They took that over. Now remember, when they say they're going to buy a bank or an insurance company, they don't buy the bank or the insurance company. They didn't buy, FRC. They go in and pick only the best of the best credits. And remember, the banks are owned by the government. These 4 or 5 big banks owned by the government through an agreement they have with the FDIC. They don't buy everything. They buy the best of the best that's not going to default. And they leave the rest of the crap with us. And that's why when they say to us, oh, you're not, the taxpayer's not going to get hit at all on these banks. You're not going to get hit at all. Who's going to pay for all the crap that JP Morgan left behind on FRC? We had to pay for all the crap he left behind on the insurance company that I can't remember the name right now. Look, join our gang, philsgang.com, and we'll help you. Go to philsgang.com, and you're going to have fun doing it. See you on the chart.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.